Hi guys, we're back again. So, Training Thursday. Today I've got a productivity and creativity hack for you. And this one came out of an extension of thinking about getting my time back and my space back. My kids have gone back to school 1 or 2 days a week. And what it has allowed me to think about is who have I been letting into my space? And I've been letting everybody into my office space. And one thing that's been happening in my office space, if I flick this around, you'll see a ball pit that's flattened out. And we're back. So that ball pit has been in my space, and other things have been in my space as well. Other people have been in my space, and I've talked to you guys before about what it's like to run a group. A Facebook group. It's like having people in your space. Hey Brooke, hey Carla, how are you guys? Hopefully you guys are feeling the feels this week and going with the changes and going with the not changes depending on where you are. So I was like, okay, if creating a Facebook group is like that and you invite the right people in, and you can invite them in and then you kind of give them some guidelines. Don't plaster posters all over the walls. Don't take somebody out of the lounge room and take them to the other party in the other lounge room, you know. There's these kind of rules that you put in a Facebook group. And what I started to notice was, have you ever checked how much time you spend on the internet? Does your phone give you those little reminders of you've had this much screen time this week? And you go, quick, delete. I have definitely had that, and this past week it popped up again. It gives you a percentage of time, extra time that you've been spending there. And I was like, I've spent more time in this online space than I have in on the back deck. So per day, I've spent twice as much time in this room that happens to be the internet than on my back deck doing my yoga and my exercise. And I thought, when I spend my time in this online space, who am I letting in? On my back deck, I let in my kids, I let in my dog. He comes in and out and in and out and in and out. I occasionally let in my neighbours call over the back fence, but I would never just bring people in. Even if they were my best buddies, they wouldn't just sit there on my back fence or on my back deck and I'd be talking to them all the time. It just wouldn't work like that. And what I started to notice was, if we actually utilized our online space, that includes your social media, that includes your Facebook feed, your Instagram feed, your inbox, your booking system, your everywhere else. Hey Brooke, hey Trina. All those spaces that are online, that you're there in that space online, on the web. If you utilize them as your lounge room, who are you letting in there all the time? Who's just in your lounge room all the time? You're feeding through there and you're noticing them there. And if they don't make you feel good, why are they there all the time? Why haven't you unfollowed them? Why haven't you kept them quiet for 30 days? Why haven't you, even if they are friends and family, you can unfollow them. You don't have to look at those things that bring up those feelings of crankiness or insecurity even. And I know that so many practitioners and so many business owners get into comparisonitis. Why are you following these places and spaces that are making you feel like that? Now, there's a slight twist on that some places and spaces actually give you a feeling of being challenged, a good feeling of challenging, where it pushes you up against your comfort zone enough that you actually choose to change something. Now that's cool. Being challenged to the point where you can feel that jiggle of, whatever they're saying is actually, I've got to lean into that and it might bring me some new aspect or new understanding. But if you're looking at it because it gives you some feeling of less than, or some feeling of anger, or some feeling of justification, some other thing, and you're consistently doing that, it's like inviting one of your worst enemies into your lounge room and letting them just rip every time. And there might even be people that are your friends that are saying things that you're like, that person, and you get off the phone, you get that hit of dopamine, and you're like, And there's something that happens there that you would never let that person in your lounge room. You would never let that person consistently. My inbox, I did it this week, finally. Like I thought, your inbox to zero and all that. But every morning I wake up with 35 or 40 different emails, and I would never let, that wine company in my lounge room all the time, telling me this, that, or the other. I'd never let that online marketing company coming in here with lack mentality and telling me this and scarcity that. I would never let them in my lounge room like that. And yet, every couple of days, I get these emails from them and I just delete it usually. But that's like inviting somebody into your lounge room and just kicking them out again. Why not just unfollow them? Why not just unsubscribe? Why not just do all the things? Because it takes up so much of your bandwidth in your head and takes up so much of your possible productive time by focusing on getting them in and out and in and out and in and out. And when I've done this before, and I do a little bit of a cull, a bit of KonMari, does this person bring me joy? I've done that before, and it creates so much creativity and so much space because it's one less thing you have to worry about. And you're not having your nervous system or you jumping up and down in the way that you're thinking about things when that person's name appears on your screen, that person's name appears in your calendar, that person's name or that inbox just gets crazy. Now, I went and walked the dog this morning with Murray, and on our way back, I thought, he talked about tidying up the back end of his booking system. And I'm the same. I can do this, apply the same logic of who am I letting in my lounge room into my booking system. And I haven't cleaned it up for a while. So if you've had a booking system for a while, or patient management system, and you haven't cleaned up the back end, making sure that not everybody can see all of your availability. Not everyone can see all of your different types of consultations and things, that you're inviting people into that consultation room rather than going, here's all of the things that I have and here's all of the opportunities to have a meeting with me, just pick the one that suits you. Making sure that you've only got the one or two that people are like, yeah, and then the rest of those things are really specific and you can invite people in. The same way that you have boundaries in real life, these boundaries online are really important. And I just had this reframe around this because I've always had it around groups. Facebook groups are a sacred space to hold space for everybody in the group to co-create, just like it is in the Naturapreneur Hub. And when we have this space, then there has to be a boundary around it, and there is an invite and a letting go. And the same thing happens whether you have it on your Facebook feed, you have it on your Instagram feed. If you find yourself scrolling on Instagram and you're like, that person, every time I see it, unfollow, unsubscribe. If those feelings aren't helpful and they are hindering you, then it's really important to take control of your boundaries and show them the door. They don't have to be in your lounge room anymore because you spend so much time, possibly more time in this online room than you do in your own rooms in your house. And you have to have those spaces to be sacred for you. So same thing goes with your inbox, same thing goes, and see where else you can apply it in your online space and what that means for you moving forward so that you can create more space for productivity, more space for good feelings and joy, more space for all the good, yummy, productive, inspiring, creative stuff that you want to be here to do, be, see, and all of the things. So that's my invitation to you guys this week. I've definitely been doing it, and clearing up my inbox from this space feels really yummy and nourishing. It doesn't feel like a to-do list item of getting my inbox to zero. It feels like I'm really doing something that's nourishing me and keeping my sacred container of online space just that. All right, have an amazing week, people, and I'll catch you for the next Training Thursday. See ya.